If you're a first-time homebuyer in Canada, you should familiarize yourself with the incentive program that the government has for you. The first one is land transfer tax rebate, in which, as the name suggests, you get $4,000 rebate on your land transfer tax when you buy your first house. RRSP's home buyer plan, which allows you to withdraw $35,000 from your RRSP account tax-free to buy your first house in Canada. This amount needs to be repaid back within 15 years. And the third one is first-time homebuyer incentive, which is what I'm going to explain in detail in today's video. First-time homebuyer incentive program helps people buy their first home in Canada. This program offers 5 or 10% of the purchase price to put towards as the down payment. The first-time homebuyer incentive program makes the home more affordable and lowers your monthly payment. You can think of it as a shared equity. It works by getting 5 to 10% of the down payment when you're buying a house and then repaying the government 5 or 10% of the value of your house at the time of repayment, up to a maximum repayment amount equal to 8% per year of the incentive amount. This 8% yearly is not compounded. In an event where the house values go down, the government will also bear the loss on the incentive amount equal to 8% per year. Just as the name implies, this incentive is for the first-time home buyer. You are considered a first-time home buyer if you have never purchased a home before. You did not occupy a home that was owned by you or your spouse in the last 4 years. You have recently experienced a breakdown of a marriage or a common law partnership. Here's the criteria to determine your eligibility for the first-time homebuyer incentive. To be eligible for a first-time homebuyer incentive, your annual income should be less than $120,000. But if you're living in Toronto, Vancouver, or Victoria, your income should be less than $150,000 per year. Your total borrowing is no more than 4 times of your qualifying income. It can be up to 4.5 times if you are living in Toronto, Vancouver, or Victoria. You or your partners are first-time homebuyers. You are a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. You meet the minimum down payment with traditional funds such as savings, RRSP, or a non-repayable financial gift from a family member. This incentive is like a second mortgage on your property. Your first mortgage should be more than 80% of the value of your property and should be subject to a mortgage loan insurance premium. The type of home you will purchase will determine how much amount you would be eligible for. If you plan on buying a new construction, you could qualify for 5% or 10% of the value of your house. Whereas, if you're buying a resale home or a mobile or manufactured home, you can qualify for 5% of the value of your property. You can buy any residential property within 1 to 4 units. In other words, your property must be located in Canada and must have all your occupancy. You must live in the property. The property cannot be solely used as an investment property. There are also additional costs associated with this incentive. Your lawyer would be working with 2 mortgages, so they might charge you a little higher fees. To repay your incentive, you may need to hire an appraiser to determine the fair market value of the house. There could potentially be other costs throughout the cycle of the incentive. For example, if you choose to switch or refinance your first mortgage. If you're thinking, how do I apply for this incentive now? Once you've been pre-approved for a mortgage and you have determined which house you want to buy and also if that makes you qualify for the incentive, you need to fill out the application form to apply for the first-time homebuyers incentive with your lender. They will submit the application for you. This incentive must be repaid in full. There are no partial payments. There are a few more other reasons that could trigger the repayment of the incentive, so make sure you read the fine print and understand all the terms. If you have got any further question on the first-time homebuyer incentive, please feel free to leave a comment below or click the first link in the description to book a call with me. If you got any value out of this video, please be sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel.